Hi, my name is Joyce. I'm in the USI Technical Department. Today we're going to go over our ARL 2700 Thermal Laminator. If we come over on this side to look at the features, we have a key lock. When the key is in the unlocked position, your machine rollers will roll. If the key is in the locked position, your rollers will not go. Below your key lock is your main power heat switch. If your heat switch does not light up, you would hit the forward switch. That resets the timer. But because we've had the machine on, our heat switch will light up. Below your heat switch is your speed control knob. The thinner the film, the faster you can go. The thicker the film, the slower you go. Your bottom switch is your forward and reverse. And you can hear the cooling fans blowing. The cooling fans are on this machine, so you're able to do up to 5 mil film. If you don't have cooling fans, you can do up to 3 mil film. I'm going to shut off the heat. If we come over here, we have our black feed tray. This just lifts up and you take it off. You have your upper supply mandrel and your lower supply mandrel. Now we color code our machines. So the top mandrel is red. It fits into the red friction stud. The bottom mandrel is blue. It fits into the blue friction stud. So actually we color code our film. So when we go to thread it, we're going to do red to red. We'll take our other roll of film and we'll do blue to blue. If we come over to this side of the machine, we have our digital temperature. Your temperature is set based on the film that you're using. Different films require different temperatures. Let's say we set it at 230. You should have a red light that comes on. Your ACT button means actual temperature. When you press this in, it's going to give you actual temperature. Right now it's flashing 140 because we haven't even reached 140. If you press in your CF button, that is for Celsius. A little red light will come on. If you press that, that's for Fahrenheit, which is typically what we use. On the right side of the machine, you have your tension knobs. If you turn the knob away from you, that applies tension to the roll of film. If you turn it towards you, that releases tension on the film. Now what we'll do is we'll thread our laminator. So what I like to do is leave my paper on, and I take my top mandrel, I feed it in. When I get to the gripper teeth, it should be hard to push in, so you have to turn it. Once you turn it, you could turn it back the other way and you'll feel the gripper teeth grip the core of the film. Then you put it into your red friction stud. Now we'll take our bottom roll of film and we're going to do blue to blue. So I'm going to take my bar, I'm going to turn it in the opposite direction of the teeth. I'm going to put it onto my blue friction stud. And you'll notice your USI film comes with a sheet of paper. It tells what film you have. It gives you the width, the length, the mill thickness, and the core size, and the finish. Okay, I like to take my bottom roll of film first. And you'll notice there's a bar that has a label on it that says do not thread under this bar. But there's a bar right here that spins. This bar you have to go around, pull the film around, And what I like to do is just let it rest on the roll. I take my top roll, I go behind my idler bar, and if you need to straighten out the film, if you need to line it up with the bottom, you can just move the film back and forth. So what you want to do is you want to lay the top roll over both heaters. You want to take the bottom film and lay it over both heaters. I like to tuck it behind my idler bar. Some people will tape it. Then what you want to do is take a threading board, and as you see, we don't need to put the heat on to thread it, so we're going to thread it cold. So what you do is you take your threading board, and you can use manila folders or a piece of cardboard. We're going to hit the forward switch, and your machine has speed control, so you don't have to go fast. You want to make sure that your board is bringing the 2 rolls of film through. You want to make sure your board exits the back 2 rollers. And when you're first threading it, your film is cold, so it's going to wrinkle. Don't worry about that. As long as you get the film from the front of the machine out the back. And then what we're going to do after we thread this, we're going to let it heat for 15 minutes, and then I'll show you what we're going to do after that. After 15 minutes of heating up the machine, you want to come over on this side where your switches are, because your heater is only heating the front side of your rubber rollers. So what we like to do is advance our film. You're only letting about 1 inch of film come out, and then you stop it and you give it another 15 minutes. We've already done that to save time. So what we're going to do now is, once it's fully heated, and we could tell by pressing in the ACT button, we're at 227. When it does go to 230, the light will shut off. If it needs more heat, the little light will come on. So this light will come on and off periodically. Matter of fact, when you first put the temperature on and you set it for 230, this light might go off 2 or 3 times before it even reaches 230, because it doesn't want to overshoot it. So now what we're going to do is, before we put our tray and our heat guard back on, we run it, and we have speed control so we can go slow. If we have wrinkles, we would apply tension to the roll of film. As soon as the wrinkles go away, you stop. So right now we look pretty good with our film. So what we're going to do now is put our tray back on. We're going to put our heat guard on. This is to protect your fingers so they don't get burnt. Some people use it, some people don't. Now we're going to grab a poster to laminate. And what you want to do is just hit your forward switch. You want a couple inches to run through. We're going to feed our piece in nice and flat. If it's a bigger poster, you kind of want to keep your hand on it over here. Make sure it's nice and flat. I always like to check the back of my machine to make sure none of my film is wrapping around the rollers or anything. If you have multiple items, you could feed them side by side. I usually like to cut the film here. And like I said, usually the thinner the film, the faster you can go. The thicker the film, the slower you need to go. Right now we have a 3 mil film on here. What we'll do after we've ran this poster, which is almost done, We're going to shut off the heat, and I'm going to show you how to take the film off the correct way. Also, once your poster exits the machine, you want to make sure when you cut the film, usually use a pair of scissors or quickie cutters. You kind of want to cut it, and you want to leave some film hanging out. Sometimes when customers use this cutoff knife, it leaves the film right up against the knife. And if your tension is off at all, when you go to advance the film, it might get hung up on the cutting blade and wrap around your rollers. So you always want to make sure you got some film hanging out. What we'll do next is we're going to take our heat and shut it off. I'm going to lift up my heat guard. I'm going to take off my tray. The other thing I want to mention is when you're using your film and your film gets lower, the weight of the roll is less, the diameter is smaller, so you don't need as much tension. So eventually you're going to have to back off on your tension knobs. Sometimes customers will call and they'll say they're pulling on the film in the back, or the film isn't going through. It's usually because you have to back off on the tension. Now I'm going to take this film off with the machine still a little warm. So what I do is I cut it there and just carefully cut it down here. And then what I like to do is, instead of going forward, I go in reverse, because as you can see, my heat shoes are still hot, and when I cut my film, I still have adhesive exposed, so I don't want to go forward. I want to back it out. I could go quicker now with the speed just to kind of get it out, or you could let the machine completely cool down, cut the film, and then take it out. And that's how you run your ARL 2700.